Good, good morning, my beloved students. This is teacher Mustafa, and this is a recorded session of Tuesday, the 5th of October, because I'll be traveling to KSA. Okay, so let's get started. Now we're going to talk about the elements of poetry. The elements of poetry. But do you know what's a poetry? What do you think? We're going to talk about the form, the sound devices, imagery, mood, tone, and the theme. But just let's find out what is the meaning of poetry. What do you think the meaning of poetry is? So poetry is some kind, very good. It's a form of writing that uses not only words, but also form, lines and stanzas. So mister, what are the lines and the stanzas? It also uses pattern of sound, like the rhyme, the repetition, and the rhythm. The form is called lines, include the lines and the stanzas. The patterns of sound include the rhyme, the repetition, and the rhythm, as well as figurative language and imagery. We're going to know all of that. Don't be in haste. So we use all of that. Why do we use all of that to form the patterns of sound and the figurative language and imagery? Why do we use that? We use them to convey a message, to tell a story, or to express the author's feelings or thoughts. Okay. Any poem will include some or all of these elements. Those are the elements that we're talking about. Form, patterns of sound, figurative language, and imagery. Okay, we will get to know all of that. Okay, let's first start with, so what do we do here? Now, how to analyze it? How to analyze it? We have to read the poem, all the poem, for an overall meaning. We need to know the main idea. Then we circle the unknown words and look them up in a dictionary because they can be very, very hard and tricky. Step 2, what information does the title give you? For example, if the title is about animals, so you will understand automatically that this poem is going to talk about animals. If the poem is about love, so you understand that this will tell you about a love story, for example, or it will tell you about a romance story or the writer's feelings. Also, we have to read for a second time and annotate for elements of poetry. And those what we studied here, the elements of poetry, the form, the patterns of sounds, figurative language, and imagery. Okay. And last but not least, we have to read one last time to determine the theme, to know what is it talking or what did we learn from it. Okay, now let's start with the form. From its name, what do you think form means? Huh? Yes, it is very good, it's the shape. Very good. So a poem's form, its appearance or its shape. Poems are divided into lines. Many poems, especially longer ones, may also be divided into groups of lines called stanzas. Okay, so the poem has, let's say for example, the poem is four lines. Okay, if the poem has like 80 lines, or let's say just 15 lines or 16 lines, so each group will be called stanza. So this together they will be called a stanza, but just one will be called a what? Line. Very good, guys. Great. Let's take an example and check. Stanzas function like paragraphs in a story. Each one contains a single idea or takes the idea one step further. So each stanza, not each line, each stanza. So what's a stanza again? A group of lines, very good. Each group of lines that is called stanza focuses on one idea, focuses on one idea. Now here, let's read the question, then read the poem. What is the purpose of the first stanza of The Highwayman? The wind was a torrent of darkness among the gusty trees. The moon was a ghostly galleon tossed up cloudy seas. The road was a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moon, and the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. The highwayman came riding up to the old inn door. So what do you think? Here, those group of lines. What do you think the purpose here is? What do you think they are? Huh. It describes the what? The wind, the moon, the road, and how the highwayman came. So, and the indoor. So here we can say that the road and the indoor are what? Are time or place? Time, very good. What about the moon and the darkness? Do they give you the sense of time? Is it morning or evening? Evening, very good. So we have a time and a place. So it's a what? Setting, very good. It's a setting. So it sets the scene, or this explains the setting of this. This stanza sets the scene or explains the setting or tells us about the setting of the poem. The setting of the poem. The sound devices. Some poems use techniques of sound such as rhythm, rhyme, alliteration, consonants, assonance. Okay, we will study each one now. Let's start. Oh, also we have onomatopoeia and repetition. Let's start with the rhythm. Okay, the rhythm. When you hear the word rhythm, what do you think about it? You think of this is a what? Very good. It's a rhythm, it's a music or a sound, right? The pattern of beats or stresses in a poem. Poets use patterns of stressed and unstressed syllables to create a regular rhythm. Okay, so where do we stress the words or the lines? As you can see here, try beating out the rhythm with a finger as you read these lines. She was a child and I was a child in this kingdom by the sea. We loved with the love that was more than love. I and my Annabelle Lee. So it gives kind of, stress. You won't fully understand it until we take an actual poem, but just let's keep it that way, that the rhythm is the stress in a poem. The stress in a poem. And some poets use patterns of stressed and unstressed syllable to create a regular rhythm. Okay, let's go to the rhyme. And this is easier. Okay, the rhyme is the repetition of the same or similar sounds, usually in stressed syllables at the ends of lines, but sometimes within a line. So they're basically the same word with different spellings. Now you can see here. So same sound actually. There are many strange things done in the midnight sun. So can you hear? Done and sun rhyme together. It's a grade one thing. I know you know it. By the men who moil for gold. We don't need that one. Just we have done and sun. Do they rhyme or not? Can you think of any other rhyming words? Bad and mad. Very good. What else? Straight and bait. Very good. Great. And great also. Okay, so let's go to the next one, the rhyme scheme. What is a rhyme scheme, mister? Ah, the rhyming pattern that is created at the end of the lines of the poetry. So all the lines have something called a rhyme scheme. Okay, as you can see here, Mary had a little lamb, its fleece as white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Okay, as you can see here, this one ends in a lamb, ends in a B sound, and this one ends in an O sound, snow. This one ends in a T sound, but that one ends in an O sound. As you can see here, this one, this line, rhymes with that line. So we have this goes for A, this goes for B, this goes for C, and this one goes again for B because it rhymes with the first B. As you can see here, snow and go, right? Great. Here, if the poem doesn't have a rhyme scheme, it is considered to be a free verse poem. And I guess we're not going to study it. By the way, guys, let me just tell you something. One of the most famous rhyme schemes is ABBA. So those two rhyme together and those two rhyme together. ABBA, ABBA, CD, CD. ABBA, then ABBA, then C, D, C, D. This is a stanza. This is the first stanza. This is the second stanza. And this is the third stanza. Great. See this first stanza, the A rhymes with an A and the B rhymes with the B. Second stanza also, the A rhymes with the A and the B rhymes with the B. And the third stanza, the C rhymes with the C and the D rhymes with the D. You'll study it later, I believe. Okay, let's complete. The alliteration. The alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of words. How is that? Can you read this sentence? Seven silver swans swam silently seawards. Ah, what do you think? There's something strange here, right? What do you think? Yes, all the words here starts with S. That's an alliteration. Yes, that's an alliteration. Sorry, that's an alliteration. Also, let's take a look at this one, huh? Can you read it? Peter Pepper pick a peck of pickled peppers. So this also, all of this sentence starts with almost all of this sentence starts with a P, right? That's also an alliteration. That's also an alliteration. Great. So the alliteration is that when all the words or almost all the words start with the same sound. Very good, guys. Very, very good. Let's go for the assonance. It is the repetition of vowel sounds within non-rhyming words. The repetition of vowel sounds within non-rhyming words. Into the ink-filled jar, she inserted the brush. Into, ink, inserted, right? All of those include which letter? Very good. Letter I. Yes, so it's an assonance. It's the repetition of vowel sounds. Remember that. Vowel sounds. Very good. The consonants. The consonants is repetitive sound produced by consonants. So the consonants is repetitive sounds produced by consonants in the middle or end of a word, in a phrase or sentence. In the middle or end of words, in a phrase or sentence. As you can see here, pitter patter, pitter patter, t. The ending sound is t, t, patter. pitta, ta, pata, pitta. So we have the same end in the middle or the end. It can be both. But look here and listen closely. The consonants is relying on consonants. As you can see, consonants, consonants. Okay, remember that. But what about the assonance? The assonance, sorry, the assonance is the vowel. So the assonants go with the vowel, but the consonants go with the consonants. Very good. Very, very good. Grade 5. Amazing. Now let's go to the onomatopoeia. The onomatopoeia are words that are used to represent particular sounds, like crash, bang, boom, zip. So when you see the word crash, you know that there's something wrong or something good. Yes, something bad. Very good. When you hear the word boom, you know that a bomb went off or nothing happened and everything is quiet and calm. When you hear the word bang, do you think that something, like demolished or destroyed, or everything is peaceful and calm and there's nothing? Yes, very good. Something was destroyed, definitely destroyed because of bang. Okay. Like in Beirut, when there was an explosion, it went boom, bang, right? So we knew that there was an explosion. Now let's go to the repetition. The repetition is the repeating of a particular sound devised to create an effect. The repeating of a particular sound devised to create an effect. To create emphasis, which means confirmation, a poet may repeat words or lines within the poem. So to create emphasis or to confirm something, a poet might repeat words or lines within the poem. Okay, like here, when he first said me and Anne or something like that, I don't really remember. So the imagery, poets use words that appeal to the reader's sense of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. So basically, our senses. Okay, he uses or she uses, or the poet uses imagery. Okay, now let's read the question, then read the verses or the stanza. Which senses does the following stanza appeal to? So we will focus on the senses now. What can you hear? Back, he spurred like a madman, shouting curses to the sky, with the white road smoking behind him and his rapier brandished high. So here, what do you think? Which senses were triggered here? Which senses were triggered? When someone shouts, so what happens? Which sense? When the teacher shouts, which sense are you affected with? The taste? Very good. It's the sound. Very good. When someone shouts, it is the sound sense that it is being affected. And also here, with the white road smoking behind. So white road, can you hear the white road? Can you touch the white road? Yes, you can touch it, but you won't touch it in a car. Can you smell the white road? Can you hear the white road? Or can you see the white road? You can simply see the white road. Very good. So we can see the white road and we can hear the shouting of the curses. Yes, great. Very good, guys. And let me show you something here of the repetition. Here, when he repeated words or lines, I need to show you before I I close it here. Hmm. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where did it go? Where did it go? We must find it. Here, yes. And the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. The highwayman came riding up to the old inn door. So here he repeated, the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. And then he repeated again the whole line. Why did he do that? To confirm or to show that this is very important, that this is something important that will happen. And we'll complete next session. Thank you guys for listening and for watching that. I hope you liked it and I hope you understand everything. Thank you guys and bye.